Well, hello everyone. Conrad Zen here, former Bitcoin Foundation member and now evangelist for PZEN. Well, what a tumultuous week it's been again in crypto land. So first of all, I'm going to pour myself a wee dram of the old Johnny Walker Blue Label. Wow, I need a drink this week. There's no doubt about it. Interesting thing, when you're drinking a fine aged whiskey, there are a couple of rituals. The number one is you say hello to a whiskey. You say hello, and then you let the aromas drift around, and it's a little bit strong to begin with, and you take a second one. Now you can actually taste in the back of your mouth the peat, the wood, the American oak, smoke, tobacco, leather armchairs. Anyway, Slanjivar, I'm Rob. So we've all seen the debacle in crypto land about FTX collapsing, then BlockFi collapsing, Genesis collapsing, Ren protocol collapsing, Solana collapsing. Everything is going to pot. CZ, the other CZ of Binance, came out and said that this is going to have a severe setback in crypto land, and he's expecting regulation. Well, I'm not surprised. But here's a thought. All that happened this week was all about centralized finance, CeFi. It is not about DeFi. Decentralized finance is a completely different animal. And the way forward for DeFi is self-regulation. And what should be happening is there should be a self-governing body set up to actually color code crypto projects in DeFi. And the color coding would have to be along the lines of some kind of rating to do with, for example, who are the crypto founders? Is the code audited? Is there enough liquidity? Is there sufficient grounds for it to be a trusted cryptocurrency from the outset, and on and on? And then your average investor could simply look up the color code and know which of the standards that these DeFi projects actually reach. You shouldn't ban any DeFi project. It should be up to the individual investor to decide. But having a color-coded grading system would allow people to initially see which projects make the grade in different categories from the get-go. That has to be the way forward for DeFi. We are a very nascent industry, and these things will evolve and it will get better and better. Now, one thing I want to say about crypto investing is this. If you are a first-time investor, or if you do not have disposable income, you shouldn't be investing. Cryptocurrency is a highly volatile asset class, albeit possibly the highest appreciating asset class. But you should never be investing money in cryptocurrency, or in fact in any investment that you cannot afford to lose. I cannot emphasize this enough. Cryptocurrency is not a lottery. Well, it could be a lottery because you're going to lose your money, and you're hardly likely to make yourself a millionaire by having this sort of attitude towards it. Crypto is brand new. Crypto is a long-term investment plan. You cannot expect to get rich overnight. And specifically with Pulse Zen, Pulse Zen is a long-time investment horizon crypto asset. So with everything that's gone on this week, I want to just go back and give you some pointers about what decentralized finance actually is as opposed to centralized finance, as opposed to traditional finance. So bear with me as I just take you through a few slides. Give me a 1 in the chat if you can hear me so far. Anybody can hear me, or can you nobody hear me? Somebody give me a 1 in the chat. Thank you. Bit of a delay, so I'm not seeing your ones. So look, let's talk about DeFi versus CeFi versus traditional finance, because we're all familiar with traditional finance. We're all familiar with the financial transactions around our currency of use, be it US dollars, pound sterling, or Japanese yen. You know, if you want to have a bank account, a current account, or a savings account, or a loan or a mortgage, you go to a bank like Citibank. If you need insurance, you go to a company called AIG, for example. If you want to trade or invest in stocks, perhaps you call your stockbroker or use an app like Robinhood. And if you want to send money around the world, you might use Western Union. What do all of these things have in common? What do all of these traditional finance transactions have in common? Well, you are dealing with a third party. And what that means is interacting with third parties exposes you to a risk of fraud. It exposes you to a risk of mismanagement. It exposes you to a risk of theft. And you are also giving away control of your money to a third party. So, you know, when Bitcoin was invented back in 2008, the white paper came out, and then Bitcoin itself came out, it was due to the enormous turmoil in the financial markets in 2008 that it was born. And of course, it is the granddaddy of all cryptocurrencies. Later on came Ethereum, and Ethereum changed the game completely, because on the Ethereum network, we are able to use protocols which adhere to the DeFi principle. And the DeFi principle, the decentralized finance principle, involves this. It means that you have complete custody of your finances at all times. You have complete control of your finances at all time. And having cut out the middlemen, you should be able to achieve a higher return on your investment, a higher ROI. So DeFi is there to take out the middleman. Let me give you an example, okay? Banks, traditional banks, all right? Let's say you want to open up a interest account, or in America, a time deposit account, or a CD as they're known. The bank might say to you, oh, well, we're going to offer you an interest rate of 0.5%, certainly less than 1%. And then the bank takes that money, your money, and loans it out at more than 4%. Let's just use 4%. The bank profit on your money is 3%. Now, DeFi, decentralized finance, aims to give you that 3% by taking out the middleman. That is the premise and the promise of decentralized finance going forward. So what is decentralized finance then? Well, there are essentially 4 parts to decentralized finance. First of all, we have the blockchain, then we have the crypto assets, and then we have protocols, and then we have applications. Let me try and demystify these terms in a very simple way. Let's take the blockchain first of all. The blockchain is merely a database, but it has a very special quality. It's a database that can never be changed. It is immutable. Once something is recorded, once a transaction is recorded on the blockchain, it is there forever. And the blockchain offers a finance system where there is no central third party in control. All transactions are recorded for everyone to see. No single third party has control. That is the important concept of the blockchain. And then residing on the blockchain, of course, are your crypto assets. Now, going back to my first statement, if you're a first-time investor or you do not have disposable income, and by that I mean you don't have money that you can afford to lose, you should not be investing in crypto. You shouldn't be investing at all, but certainly not in crypto. Why? Because crypto assets are highly volatile. Look, we could see a 95% drop in the price of Pulse Zen at any time. The price you pay, however, for volatility is a higher return on your investment. Why is cryptocurrency so volatile? Well, it's very simple. It's brand new. We are in a nascent industry. We're right there at the dawn of this new economic age. This is a new economy that you're all building. Don't forget, there is risk in all investment sectors. I mean, when stock markets first came into the public domain, they were highly volatile. It took a very long time for price discovery to set in and to inject some calm in stock market volatility. Crypto is so new that you are still going to see this volatility for extended periods of time. However, going forward, that will calm down. So then we talk about protocols on the DeFi blockchain. What do we mean by that? Well, I'll give you a very simple example of what a protocol is. And of course, the protocols that we use on the blockchain for us on the Ethereum chain are called smart contracts. And all they are is code with a certain set of instructions. But they also have a peculiar property in that once the code is released and the contract is written, it is on the blockchain as is forever. It is immutable, meaning it cannot be changed by anyone. Once it's out there, it's there forever. So what is a protocol then? What is a smart contract? Well, look at this analogy of you standing in front of a vending machine selling Pepsi. Now, if you continue to stand in front of the vending machine, nothing happens. There is no interaction between you and the vending machine until we get vending machines that are operated by mind control, but that's not yet. Anyway, at this machine, a can of Pepsi is $1. And so if you put $1 into the machine, you interact with the vending machine and you put $1 in, well, you get the Pepsi. And the transaction is complete. Now, at the same time, if you put less than $1 in, well, you simply don't get the Pepsi. Transaction complete. And third case, if you put more than $1 in, well, you get the Pepsi plus the change, hopefully. Although that's not always true with vending machines. But you get the idea, right? That's a protocol. That's a smart contract. It doesn't do anything. It just exists until you choose to interact with that contract. So that is the important, very important concept of DeFi. It takes away the middleman and it puts you in control, and nothing happens unless you decide to interact with said protocol. Are we following so far? Good. So now let's have a look at what's been happening in the world of crypto just recently. You see, the problem is that we have traditional finance, which I've just described, where you have traditional currencies and you have central authorities. You have middlemen which take their cut, and you also give them control. And then there is the premise and the promise of decentralized finance, DeFi, where we have digital currencies with no central authority. You have self-custody. I'll explain that in a minute. But in between, right now, we have what's known as centralized finance, CeFi. And this is the problem. It's digital currencies, but we have a central authority in control. Case in point, FTX. FTX, in association with another company called Alameda Research, God knows why it was called Research, they were actually under the control of SBF, Sam No-Bank Fraudman. And what he did was he took depositors' money in FTX and used it as collateral for Alameda to have loans to then gamble all their money away by a risk manager whose sole exposure to this game was 2 years of working for another exchange that went broke, and she listed her hobbies as reading the Harry Potter novels. So here we have a young girl who reads children's books as a hobby, who said that it doesn't take anything than basic maths to run an exchange, and all of a sudden they're bankrupt to the tune of billions of dollars. How on earth could that possibly go wrong? And then we have the real culprits in all of this CeFi business, and that is the venture capitalists. And I'm not going to let them get away with it. You see, Sequoia Capital and SoftBank did not do their due diligence when they lent this young kid billions of dollars or an extended credit line at stupid valuations. They didn't understand what it was they're investing in, and they are ultimately responsible for the collapse of almost the entire cryptocurrency marketplace. Investor confidence has been shattered. Retail confidence has certainly been shattered. And had they have done their due diligence, this would never have happened. So yes, Sam Bankman and his girlfriend were obviously the perpetrators of all this, but they couldn't have done it without their money. So they have to be culpable in some way. Allegedly, my opinion only. Back to DeFi. We said that DeFi will cut out the middleman. Hallelujah. And this is what it looks like pictorially. In traditional finance, here's what happens with a financial transaction. You have an agreement between two parties. Contract is drawn up, which is validated by a third party who takes control of said contract in whatever manner. Only then is the contract executed. So the control of the whole contract falls to the third party, for which they take their cut, and then they are in control. Conversely, with decentralized finance, through the smart contract protocols, like the vending machine, the rules are already written, so a party or parties interact solely, not with each other, but with a smart contract, with code, which is immutable. It can't be changed. You know exactly what's going to happen. And then the financial transaction gets executed. No middleman. We cut out the middlemen totally. But here is the problem with having a system where you are in control. You see, we say it's permissionless when you do financial transactions on the blockchain. And what that means is no one can say no to you. Nobody can stop you from interacting with the blockchain. If I said to you tomorrow, stop buying and selling Pulse Zen, I couldn't stop you. Nobody can stop you because it's permissionless. And that is one of the promises of decentralized finance. You are no longer controlled by an external third party. But you also have to understand that you are agreeing to self-custody. Now, let me give you an analogy of what that means. Let me just have a quick snifter. So, if you open up a bank deposit, let's say you have a safe deposit, okay, at the bank. The bank will give you a set of keys, and then in order to access your money, you have to produce the key. And if you lose the key or somebody steals your key, then they could possibly steal all your money. So with crypto, what happens is it's the same process, only you create your own key and then you store it in a safe place. And the same thing would happen to you. If you lose that key, you lose all your money. If somebody steals that key, then you lose all your money. So the onus is on you to self-custody. That's what it means. It means you're in control. You have the key, you have to look after it, and you look after it as you would any bank key or any password that you have for any banking apps that you might have. It's the same thing. So, before you even start to think about investing in crypto, there are a couple of subjects that you have to do some research on. First of all, go and find out what cryptocurrencies are all about, and then have a look at what's known as a hardware wallet. The picture here is of a ledger, pretty little thing, and it is like a USB stick. That's all it is. And all its function is to generate your private key for your public addresses. And your public addresses are basically your wallets. That's where you can see your tokens. And the private key that is generated stays on that little device. It never gets transmitted on the internet. This is crucial before you even start to think about investing in any sort of cryptocurrency. Get yourself a hardware wallet. There's the Ledger, which I like. There is the Trezor, which I also like. And then there is the Lattice, which I also like. Go and do your own research on the Ledger. Now, once you've done that, there are a few more things to do. But what are you actually going to buy? What are you going to invest in? There are thousands of cryptocurrencies out there. But let me just explain to you what the opportunity is with Pulse Zen, because it is undoubtedly the simplest of protocols to understand, because it harnesses the power of a very simple but powerful protocol.
In these tumultuous economic times, it seems harder and harder to get ahead. Even though you have made all the right financial decisions, it's never enough. The problem is not you, it's the system. You see, the system is designed to make the rich richer and the poor poorer. The only solution is to break free from this system. Today, you can join a new, growing economy and finally get ahead. This economy is built around a socially engineered token called Pulse Zen, which is designed to redistribute wealth. The truth is that there is no scarcity of wealth. We just need a better redistribution system. Pulse Zen harnesses the power of the eighth wonder of the world, compounding interest. Simply buy and hold Pulse Zen in your wallet, and after each transaction made across the network, your token balance goes up. This is thanks to the Pay It Forward deduction, which takes 2% of every transaction and distributes it equitably to all Pulse Zen holders. No one is coming to save you. This is the way out, but you need to do the work. You have to get educated. You have to take a leap of faith. You have to join the new economy to secure your financial future. Take control of your finances with Pulse Zen.
It just couldn't be more simpler. That is the protocol, that is Pulse Zen. So, back to where we left off. We said that we need a hardware device to store our keys on, but there's a bit more to it than that, obviously. So we start off, we've got our ledger, and then the next thing that we need to do is install a wallet. Now, MetaMask is a very popular wallet to use. You install it as an extension in your browser, either Chrome or Firefox. I would recommend using Chrome for it. And people get very confused about using MetaMask as a wallet. You can not use, you don't have to use a hardware wallet with MetaMask. You don't have to. But if you don't, you are exposing your key to enormous risk. So the tokens, the coins, do not actually live inside of your wallet. That is a misunderstanding. All MetaMask is a unique interface so that you can see your tokens on the blockchain. They do not reside in your MetaMask wallet. That's the first thing. The second thing is, after you've got your ledger set up, you install MetaMask, and all you have to do is Google these, by the way. I'm not giving the links because there's too much propensity for them to be hacked. So do your own research and find the correct link. Be very careful which MetaMask you install. Look for the one that's got hundreds of thousands of users. That's the only thing I can describe it to you. So what happens is you install MetaMask, and then you connect your hardware wallet to it. It has a function where you just click the button, and then your MetaMask will be controlled by your private key that resides on your ledger or whatever. And then you're merely looking at your coins on the blockchain, which is where they reside, through that interface. And of course, what we want you to do, or what you should be interested in doing, is looking what the opportunity is of Pulse Zen. So how would you go about doing it? It's the same for any cryptocurrency. Obviously, I'm a little bit biased, not financial advice, of course, just my humble opinion. But let's say you wanted to buy Pulse Zen. So you've got your ledger, you've got your MetaMask installed. Now you need to head over to the Pulse Zen website, which is pulsezen.app, link below. Because there's a couple of important features on the website that you can use. Number one, Pulse Zen doesn't exist within MetaMask natively. You have to add it manually. And you can do that several ways, but one of the easiest ways is to click the link on the website. It says add to MetaMask. Click there, it opens up the MetaMask, which you have to be connected to, and then it will show you the symbol for Pulse Zen and your balance, which is probably going to be 0 to begin with. Now, having done all that, you're now ready to actually swap your fiat for a cryptocurrency asset. And in order to do that, you're going to have to use an on-ramp. Now, here's 10 different on-ramps you can try. Now, I have to tell you that these on-ramps, 80% of them do not work. You will have to try for your individual country and your individual state. And of course, there is the other idea of you signing up to an exchange like Binance or Coinbase, with all the reservations I have about those. You can use it as a fiat on-ramp. You exchange your fiat for currencies via those exchanges. You never keep your coins on the exchange. So there's another bit of research you have to do. How do you change your fiat currency into cryptocurrency? And indeed, what cryptocurrency would you actually exchange it for? Well, you are going to have to buy Ethereum. Why? Because Ethereum is used as the transactional gas fee. It's the fee that you pay to do any transaction on the Ethereum blockchain. So you have to have some in your wallet. But you can then swap Ethereum for PZEN. But I would highly recommend that you also exchange some fiat for USDC, which is the digital equivalent of the US dollar, supposedly backed 1-to-1, so it's fairly safe, allegedly. And so once you have both Ethereum and USD in your MetaMask wallet, or you can see them via your MetaMask wallet, you're ready to swap for Pulse Zen. So how do you do that? Well, you can either go to a centralized exchange like P2P or DexTrade. Some caveats about doing that on the website, however. And then, of course, we have the ultimate decentralized finance exchange, which is Uniswap. Now, it's important to note that you have to use version 2 Uniswap for a few technical reasons, which I won't go into here, but make sure you're on version 2 of Uniswap. You then connect your MetaMask account via your MetaMask wallet, and if you're on Uniswap and you don't see Pulse Zen, you will have to add it. And the way that you do that is by taking the contract from the website and pasting that contract in there, because that then tells Uniswap what it is that you're trying to buy. Again, if you go to the pulsezen.app website, you can simply click the link and it fills in the boxes for you, but you can do it manually. And you may get this warning. It's nothing more than the fact that for MetaMask, one exchange has a monopoly about what coins are shown there. How that happened, I don't know. So we are listed on 2 major exchanges, so the warning here isn't actually true. In fact, it's criminal that the way they display that. Nonetheless, once you have Pulse Zen available to you, either by clicking on the website or adding the contract to Uniswap, you're now ready to swap your USDC for Pulse Zen. And all you have to do is make sure you connect your wallet And then if this is the first time that you're buying this particular crypto asset, the system will ask you to approve the use of your USDC and approve the use of Pulse Zen. So that's where the ledger comes in, because you then sign, you agree to do that. Once you've done those two transactions, which are free, basically, well, they cost a little bit of ether, but not too much, you then basically hit the swap button, and the rate is calculated for you automatically, and then you just click confirm, and off we go to the races. And basically the Uniswap DEX works out the best routing for you, gives you the current price, and hey presto, your USD gets swapped into Pulse Zen. Now you saw the little video, and from then on in, all you have to do is to hold Pulse Zen in your wallet, and then you get compounding rewards. And the interesting thing about it, of course, for Pulse Zen holders, there's no lockup. There is no staking. All you have to do is to hold Pulse Zen. It's on the blockchain, but you can see it in your wallet, and you will see the compound rewards increase your Pulse Zen balance, not every month, not every week, not even after every day or every hour. It compounds after every single transaction. The pay it forward deduction of 2% goes into a pool, which is then equitably distributed to all Pulse Zen holders according to the percentage of the total market supply that you own at that time. So let's say you have 1 million PZEN, one transaction takes place, and you now have 1,250,000 PZEN. On the very next transaction, your percentage market share of the total supply is 1,250,000. So therefore, you get more of the 2% pool. But there's more, because for every single transaction, we call a burn function. Remember the protocol that we talked about, the vending machine? Well, the vending machine is told to get rid of some Pepsi cans altogether, just like Pulse Zen. It burns tokens every transaction, which has the effect of doing this. So long as demand is constant, the number of Pulse Zen coins available is deflationary. It gets less after each and every transaction, and it does that for every single transaction. And then there's the third function, of course, which is the charity wallet. It is the ultimate feel-good coin. It is the ultimate reset tool. It is the ultimate redistribution protocol. It's so simple. It really is such a simple protocol to understand. And we're transferring 0.2% of every transaction to a charity wallet, which is transparent and viewable on the blockchain, so everybody can see exactly what's going on. And later on in the year, we'll be having a vote to see where that money gets distributed. Which charities are we going to send it to? And that's it. That's Pulse Zen in a nutshell. I hope you followed me through. Of course, you can always replay the webinar to, really understand everything that I've said, because I think I've rattled through that without a breath. So, without further ado, I'll have a little dram to whet my appetite. And now, of course, the segment that you've always all been waiting for. I see there's a few people in the chat today. I will be available to answer a few questions afterwards, but of course, what we are all waiting for is the Pulsinator, which is about to be shown very soon. So talk amongst yourselves for the moment. Well, I look, the registration has finished. We are ready to go. I've been advised that we are ready to go. So, are you ready? I don't know. Let's see. Oh, can we see the Pulsinator? Can we see the Pulsinator? So this week, the machine is going to pick out 3 names. The first name out of the machine will get 10,000 Pulse Zen. The second name out of the machine will get 20,000 Pulse Zen. But the third name out of the machine is going to get 100,000 Pulse Zen. So it's 10, 20, and 100,000 this week. 10, 20, and 100,000. Are we ready? Are we ready for this? Give me a 5 in the chat if you're ready for the Pulsinator. 10K, 20K, and 100K given away this week. All right, here we go. So, for the first name to be chosen by the Pulsinator, let's go. Let's see who it is. Oh. Don't tell me that we have a failure. Oh my God. Okay, just stand by. Let me just see if I can sort this out for you. Just give me 1 second. A minor glitch. I'm always amazed how, sitting here in this little island in the middle of nowhere, that anything works first time round. Anyway, let's try again. There we have it. The first winner did Dakin. Okay, so our first winner out of the Pulsinator, Dakin, 10,000 Pulse Zen, winging its way to you, sir. Will all winners get the Pulse Zen, minus the PIF, of course, in their wallets by a Monday, midnight UTC. Wow. 10,000 PZEN, can't be bad. Shall we do another one? Okay, let's run the machine again. Pulsinator. Who is the second name out of the machine? Oh, Zenlight 72. Zenlight 72. Love the name and a well-deserved 20,000 PZEN to you, sir. 20,000 PZEN. So, for the third and final name out of the Pulsinator, this week winning 100,000 PZEN, here we go. And the Quister is this week's winner of 100,000 Pulse Zen. 100,000 Pulse Zen, winging its way to the Quister. I hope that's how you want me to pronounce it. There we have it. Isn't that fun? Is that not fun? I'm sure that you would agree that in this horrible, horrible week, this horrible landscape that we see before us in centralized finance land is horrible. But we, Pulsicans and Zenites, as we like to be known, are sitting very pretty. This is a brand new protocol. You're here with Genesis wallets, for those of you who have already taken the leap of faith into what this protocol is all about. And we can only go forward into the future with a ray of optimism and pictures of up and to the right. So I will take a few questions from the audience. If you have any burning questions, now is the time to type them in and we'll see what we have. I'm just going to scroll back up the chat, see who's here. Jay Sire, hello to you. Jacker, hello. Tortolin, good Abend. Preja Lidzek says, boom, let's go. LGS, hello to you. Mr. Profit 74 says, I don't see my PZEN going up, so you need to refresh your wallet. Check on Etherscan. As I say, the code is immutable. It's not personal to you. Everybody's transactions go up. Every wallet balance goes up every single transaction. Black Eagle, hello to you. Sersboy, hello to you. Cheyenne Lund, hello. Ryland Jones, Fusion Stream, Scott Base, Tortellini again. Crypto Trader, hello to you, sir. How are you? Hexflex says, don't know. Yes, Hexflex, keep doing your research, sir. Okay, any questions at all? Okay, I'm just reading through. Ryan has got a good question to say, why are people saying the SEC will make all of crypto except BTC a security? And my question to that is, what people? Who's saying this? Is the SEC saying this? There are some comments that are coming out, but nobody has said anything. You know, if there was the ability to actually enact such action, the problem with that is that the whole of the trillions of dollars that are in crypto are then worthless. It's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. And the other thing is the code is immutable. What they're going to do, they're going to shut down the internet. They cannot shut down DeFi. It's impossible. They cannot shut it down. If all the founders disappear off the face of the earth, the protocols still run. And it's up to the people to decide. It's your economy. It's a new economy that everybody has access to, and the government cannot stop it. They will try and FUD you out, and they will try and do everything in their powers to get rid of it, because he who controls the money controls the people. Time will tell. Bitcoin is only 14 years old. Crypto really is only beginning. And the beginning really is only from when Ethereum came out just a few years ago. So we will see. Hexox makes a good point, but it's all about your risk profile, how much money you have in crypto as to the extent of the security that you want to go through. Your average Joe just getting into investing in crypto doesn't need all that stuff. You do need a hardware wallet. That will be sufficient for most people. Smash the like button, says Crypto Steve. Hello, Crypto Steve. Absolutely. If you haven't subscribed, somewhere along there, is it subscribed and click notify and liked and commented, then please do. Hexflex, you need a ledger wallet. That is what you need, a ledger. All right, bit of banter going on here. Can't see actually any questions. So hopefully the stream answered a lot of your questions then. Okay, the original Hexter. I want to say something about Hex. Obviously, I am one of the biggest holders of Hex, so why would I FUD my own bags? Never. But we are not promoting this protocol to hexagons. This protocol is for everybody in crypto, but specifically for people who are not in crypto. Look, Hex is a great product, don't get me wrong, But not everybody can afford to lock up their money. Nobody knows what's going to happen in 15 years' time. Nobody knows what's going to happen tomorrow. So for most people, earning yield on your crypto in a way that you don't have to lock it up and you don't stake it is by far the better way to go. Now, for those that have been in crypto for a long time, for those who've made a bit of money, then and you're younger, of course, the time period is also very critical. But it's not for everybody. Staking is not for everybody. And let's face it, in Hex, the only people that actually made significant amount of money in Hex are not the people that staked it. They are the people who had it unstaked and who took advantage of the price appreciation. It was the price appreciation that caused everybody to be able to realize maximum profits. And if you don't see that that is how OG Hexagons make their money, then just go and do some more research. Now, going forward from here, we still don't know what's going to happen with the price of Hex. We don't know what's happening with Pulse Chain. But what is absolutely sure is that we're all going to get a copy of our Hex on Pulse Chain, and we're also all going to get a copy of Pulse Zen on Pulse Chain. And in my opinion, Pulse Chain is the ultimate protocol going forward because it's simple and there's no staking and there's no lockup. Hex, in my view, would be the second most valuable protocol that is going to be on Pulse Chain. But of course, Richard Hart thinks that Pulse Chain is going to survive purely on the fact that we're airdropping every single token. That doesn't work unless somebody is prepared to put up the liquidity. Somebody has to put the liquidity into the pair on Pulse Chain. Let's not forget that fact. Look, we've already had a little practice run. We've already had a little peek into the future when the Chinese decided to continue running ETH proof of work. Okay, so I'm not a proponent of ETH proof of work. I think it's a terrible idea personally. It's exactly the thing that we want to get rid of. But nonetheless, it's there. And it's given us a bit of an insight as to how all of this is going to work when and if Pulse Chain is up and running. And it is an exciting opportunity if it so happens. Look, this is the reason why we've launched on Ethereum. We couldn't wait for Pulse Chain anymore. Why wait when we knew that this protocol could make people money now? Excuse me. So anyway, I digress. Any other questions? Hexflex, DeFi is more about staking than reflection, sir. Well, actually, I don't agree with you. Did you not just watch the last hour of this video? I explained very carefully what decentralized finance, and it isn't about staking. It's about taking control of your money. When you stake, that's no longer the case, is it? Because you're now locking that up. Anyway, you can have your opinion, and I'll have mine. Oh dear, we don't seem to have any time left for any more questions. Hopefully you've enjoyed the broadcast today. I seriously thank you all for your questions. All questions are all valid and they're all very, very necessary. So I'm Conrad Zen, former Bitcoin Foundation member and evangelist for Pulse Zen. I thank you very much for coming live today, and for my replay watchers, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this replay. To the winners of the Pulsinator game, congratulations. Look out for that in your wallet by Monday night. And for the rest of you, there will be another opportunity sometime in the future. But for now, I will say a very warm, it's still at 100 degrees in this room now, Sanjivar. The best of luck to all of you.